welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to another show where Terry and I are going to discuss the news that club stalwart Leighton Baines is set to be offered a new one-year contract extension. So, without further ado, how do you feel about this one, Terry?
Feel pretty good. It's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? If you look at the squad and look at where needs reinforcements going forward, we will eventually need a replacement for Baines. But while Baines is still fit and healthy, and this season he's shown that he can still come in and perform at quite a good level, quite a high level than I think a lot of people would have given credit for before the start of the season. Given his age. I think, extending him for another year makes a lot of sense when, you're going to need the resources, even more so now with, the financial impact of COVID-19. You're going to need that on different areas in the squad. We were looking at centre-backs, centre midfielders, right-backs, right midfielders. The club can do without looking to bring in a reserve left-back as well. I'm sure it is on the club's mind going forward, but I'm more of a next time type job, they'll probably scout someone young, like a teenager, to understudy for Luca Dean. But right now, Leighton Baines still the man at Goodison Park. He's a modern, club icon, isn't he? Like, I think you'd have to look far and wide to find an Evertonian who doesn't like Leighton Baines. He's been fantastic over his time at the club. Like, there was a spell around the 2013-14 mark where he was, just for me, without doubt, one of the top left-backs in Europe and certainly the best in the Premier League. Don't care what anyone says. His delivery from set pieces, his attack and play especially, he's got an absolute wand of a left foot, and I for one, I'm happy to see him extend his stay. I'm not ready for the Leighton Baines show to end just yet, so I'm quite pleased with the potential of him signing a new deal.
Yeah, I'm the same, mate. I can't wait to maybe give him one last shot at winning something. You never know. I think that's the one thing everyone would love to see him, of all people, win something. I think he deserves it.
Well, that'd be ideal, wouldn't it? I mean, you can't really, bank on that, with everything that's gone on in the last, 25 years. But I think that's all he's missing to be an Everton legend. If he was to win something next year, I think he'd be the most comfortable, slot into he's an Everton legend. The only thing I think that stops people calling him in already is the trophy thing, which of course has been in spite of his ability, not because of it. He's been one of the players we've had over the years who's been more than good enough to have been in an Everton trophy winning team. I'm like yourself. I'd love that. I think we're not going to be able to keep Leighton Baines through to leaving Goodison Park. I think that's going to be a little bit too far. But I'd absolutely love him to win a trophy before his time at the club comes to an end, and he's got at least one more chance at that if he signs a new deal.
Definitely, and like you say, I think it's the one sort of stumbling block that maybe holds. I think we've had a lot of players like that in the 21st century who are iconic, but we could never call them a legend because they haven't won anything. I just think it'd be, if next year is to be his last, it'd be a fairy tale ending for his Everton career as well, which I don't think anyone would begrudge him that.
No, absolutely not. I mean, we'll miss him when he's gone, because right now he's easy. He's part of the furniture at the club, isn't he? But he's a local lad. He's an Evertonian. And when he goes, it will be like the end of something that has been around for so long. 14 years he'll have been at the club, and it's not even like 14 years and he's the reserve goalkeeper. He was a top player, and he still is a quality Premier League player. Like this season now, when he came in and he scored against Leicester, he's still got it. He's just time catches up with everyone. If he he's the perfect understudy for Luca Dean. Luca Dean's obviously our cemented, first choice left back, but we know that if anything, happens to Luca Dean, we don't have to panic. It's not, we're not really short in that position where we go, who are we going to play at left back? We haven't got anyone. No one worries at all, because Baines will just go in there and just do.
I'm not worried anyway. We've got Cuco Martina can play there, can't he?
Well, we might sign him up as well. I saw that as well. That no decision has been made as of yet.
Please tell me that's something Chico Azul said or not real.
No, it's they said that the deals, the contracts for Martina, Nias, and Stecklenburg, no decision has been made on them as of yet. But I think that's just in the context of they might get like an extra month to see this season out and then be let go. But even that's not guaranteed. So I think
do we have to?
No, I mean I'm sure the club, we're probably
Wait
planning
to
to
get rid of them.
let them go anyway. But then when you get injuries like Yerry Mina and Gbamin and you see how easily it can happen, I think the club might be worth just.
Oh yeah, well we should probably keep holding the Aston in case we need to stick him at centre back.
I know. I mean, there's a long. I'd rather see a lot of other players play ahead of them, but I can understand why the club might do it. But I don't even think we'll do the month. I think we'll just let them go. I mean, would they want to play for the sake of an extra month when they might be, be better protecting themselves for a free transfer? I know in their position I might not want to play.
I know in my position I don't want them to play.
Yeah, well, yeah, that as well. But yeah, it's good. It's good sense with all the other positions in the squad that need like attention, and especially now we're gonna have to start being really careful with our money. It just makes perfect sense to retain Leighton Baines for another season while we put our time, attention, and money and resources into other positions that are more pressing. There'll be a time next season when we need to replace him, but we don't need to do that now, thankfully.
Yeah, and I think that's been a real maybe actually like I think you said before, it's quite a surprise actually to see how well he did play when he was called upon this season.
I mean, I think people worry because the club in the past has held on to players a bit too long. Like, Tim Howard was a good example of one. Love Tim. He's a great Everton keeper, but I think him staying a little bit too long sort of soured him with a lot of not him particularly, but a lot of supporters soured on him a little bit because he wasn't up to his usual level. And I think people may have been a little bit worried that could happen to other players like Baines, but not on the evidence of this season. He looked more than competent when he came in. Did as well as could be expected.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone has any qualms with the idea of giving him another season. I think you've got to take it on a season-on-season basis. And like you say, I think we had opportunities to realise that certain players weren't cutting the mustard anymore, but he's certainly not one of them.
True. I mean, if you got to wonder as well, he could have we don't know, it's very behind the scenes, but he could have a very big role in the, makeup of the squad. He could be, a type of leader, type of personality that Ancelotti wants around the young players. We've got a lot of very young players at the minute, and we're probably going to add more and ship out more and more older players. But it's always worth having one or two professionals. I mean, we touched on it a while ago with Theo Walcott. I'm not sure if we said that off camera or in a video segment, but Baines, Coleman, Walcott, these are players, especially Baines and Coleman, who you don't mind having around a young squad. So they're like sort of experience and professionalism can rub off on them. They can look to them as like examples of how to conduct yourself as an Everton player. Baines and Coleman and latterly Walcott are good examples for young players to follow because they are so professional.
On the other hand, the likes of Morgan Schneidler and that aren't exactly great examples.
Well, yeah, if you get yourself sent off on purpose and the likes, then probably not. But, I can't see Baines being a ranter and raver, but I think I'm currently listening on audio book to Carlo Ancelotti's book, Quiet Leadership, and he goes into great detail about like the different types of leaders. And there's, technical leaders and, example leaders and personality leaders. Like, Sergio Ramos is a personality leader, but Ronaldo was an example leader. He doesn't shout, rant and rave, but everyone has to just look to him and based on it, follow his example of how he conducts himself and trains and plays. Baines strikes me as one of them. Like, he's not someone who's going to be, bollocking other players or pulling players to one side, but he could always be pointed to by the manager to other young players and going, look at him, do what he does. That's how you get to be the level he was and be as good as him, as if you copy the way he carried out his career.
I wonder if Gylfi Sigurdsson some points too.
Probably points to everyone else, doesn't he?
Exactly. But I think what I like about Baines, though, I think why he's probably got a bit more longevity than most. I think he was never a player who relied too heavily on physicality. I think he's always been a very technical player, and I think you're always going to get a few more years out of players who've still got that technical ability in the lockers. So I don't think we have to worry too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difference between, there's athletes and then there's footballers, isn't there? And Leighton Baines is very much a footballer. Like, he got compared to Ashley Cole a lot in his career, who was a good player, but I always thought Leighton Baines was a better footballer than Ashley Cole.
Yeah,
Ashley Cole
was a
could
better
play
athlete.
football, but he was a better athlete. He wasn't just about his athletic ability, Cole. Like, that's underselling him. He was a good player as well. But I think his pace ultimately is what got him the nod over Baines for England, and in a lot of people's eyes, I think the rate Cole was better than Baines based on that and based on the teams they played for. But Baines was getting coveted by Man United even when Sir Alex Ferguson was there. So if Baines had the left, he could have won. He could have won what Ashley Cole won and then some. He chose to stay at Everton, which we're all grateful for. But where's Cole now? Now that his athleticism has waned, which it always does for every player. But Leighton Baines is still playing Premier League football because he was always about his football.
Leighton Baines is what, 35 now? I think by that point, Ashley Cole had gone to the MLS. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, Cole. That just goes to show that a lot of his game was athleticism, and when it went, he couldn't play at the top level anymore. Whereas Baines, okay, he's not starting every week, but he's still turning out for a Premier League team because it's always been about his footballing ability, not about his physical ability.
And also, let's not forget that goal he scored against Leicester the other month. Sorry, I've never seen Ashley Cole stick one top bins like that.
That's just Leighton Baines for you, isn't he? He's been hitting goals like that his whole career, and I'm sure that won't be the last one. I'm sure we'll get at least one more of them before he hangs up his boots.
Well, fingers crossed, but I think it's a unanimous decision from us here that Leighton Baines staying can only be a good thing for Everton.
What was it he was called by those lads in his car? The naughtiest left back in town.
Naughtiest left back in town, and he orders cornetos as well.
I don't think he ever let any supporters in his car again after that. Why couldn't he have got like a dad and his son, like proper normal people? He got let a big group of lizards in, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's vintage though, isn't it? It's typical Everton fans.
Yeah, adds to his mystique.
That's it, yeah. And also, let's not forget the ice cream van. I think that's got to be a highlight of his Everton career as well.
That was the pinnacle of the Roberto Martinez era at Everton. That was when everyone was loving life and we were winning all the time, and Baines was getting a cornet out. 99 or something, wasn't it? At an ice cream man.
Yeah,
it was like, yes, Bainesy.
That was boss, wasn't it? But yeah, hopefully we've got a few more memories to make anyway. We've got another season and a bit left at least, so that can only be a good thing for us.
Yeah, I mean, Viva la Baines, definitely.
Viva Leighton Baines. But
yeah.
They have it, guys. Leighton Baines, one more year of him at least. Let us know what you think about that. Give us a comment and a like and a subscribe.